34 false statements made to cover up other crimes. These are felony crimes in New York State, no matter who you are.
Attorney in Manhattan talking just a while ago. Reaction still coming into the 34 felony charges now against former President Donald Trump. He's going to be having a rally in Florida later tonight. And right now we're bringing you local reaction from Kentucky's former Justice Secretary J. Michael Brown, now with Simmons College. So hush money payments to 2 women and a doorman during the 2016 campaign. You went over the charges. They're right here in front of you. Can you explain some of the significance?
Well, the charges involve the false entry of business records, and those are going to be just straight entries. We have actually 11 invoices from Michael Cohen, 11 checks presumably to Michael Cohen, and then 12 other entries into business ledgers of the Trump account. The details of those will have to be showed exactly who those monies got paid to, but the difficulty or the challenge is just like any other criminal charge, is the presumption of innocence, and then you have to prove each element of all 34 beyond a reasonable doubt.
So each of these felonies, we know, carries a maximum penalty of 4 years in prison in New York. Where do you think this case goes? How does it progress? Could Trump really be seeing prison time here?
Well, certainly there's a risk of that, because anytime you go to the jury, if it gets to the jury, you never know what that result is going to be. I do think that this case is going to involve a tremendous amount of motion practice, particularly because the charges, which normally would be a misdemeanor, are enhanced in this situation, and you'll have to show the intent of the business records was to conceal or pursue another crime to make it a felony charge. I believe that his lawyers are going to challenge a lot of the legal grounds of the charges themselves.
Mr. Trump was angry, the look on his face when he walked into the courtroom today. A lot of the reporters described him as being that way. Are you surprised the judge didn't place a gag order in this case? Because we're really going to hear it here at about 8 o'clock when he has his rally down there. Will he be hurting his case with anything he says tonight?
Well, he can certainly hurt his case with whatever he says tonight, because it won't be under oath, but it would be public statements, which could be deemed to be admissions, depending on what he says. It's going to be a difficult case to put a gag order on, a candidate, and particularly since this case had very unusual publicity before even the arraignment and the indictment. There was a lot of information that leaked out from the grand jury. They didn't actually open the indictment in today, but there was much speculation going on before that. As far as his demeanor, I think it might be attributed to the fact that, like anyone else in court, Trump couldn't talk when he wanted to.
We know there's certainly been a lot of questions here about what exactly is the crime, because hush money payment's not a crime in itself. Could you explain exactly what they're saying he did here that was illegal?
Well, what they're saying is basically, think of it as, it's a pass-through of money. And they entered documents and ledgers and invoices on Trump's business accounts, actually 2. One was a revocable trust and one was a Donald J. Trump account. And the invoices coming from Michael Cohen for a purpose alleged to be, legal fees, which apparently they're contending were not legal fees. And then what they're saying was the underlying payment and the entry of those records was to cover up another offense. That other offense is not nearly as clear, at least from what I've learned today.
J. Michael Brown, thank you very much. Chief of Staff of Simmons College of Kentucky. We appreciate your view on this, on all the legal issues navigated. It's going to be months and months, years ahead on this.
Thank you.